Hey everyone, so in the past year or so, we've booked over 2,000 qualified sales calls for me and for our clients, and we've generated over $250,000 in client revenue and counting. Now, all of this was simply done by using cold DMs, no ads, no content, only cold DMs. And in this video, guys, I want to show you exactly how I did it, what strategies, what scripts, what systems I've used, and how you can literally right now implement these kind of systems for yourself. Because with this one thing that I'm going to show you right now in the video, cold DMs are literally one of the best and easiest and most efficient things that you can do if you want to add an extra 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month to your business. Now, before we get into the video, let me show you exactly that this thing actually works. Now, as you can see right here, this is just what one of my calendars actually looks like. And I can also refresh the page just so you see, guys, that we are booking quite a good amount of calls, and all of this only come from cold DMs. Now, without wasting any more time, let's dive right into this. Now, before, when I said that cold DMs right now have become one of the easiest and best thing that you can do for your business, no matter how much money you're making, let me show you exactly why I mean that. Now, first of all, you obviously know the acquisition channel. So where can you actually send these cold DMs? But when you combine this with something that's called AI, well, you pretty much get to this stage right here. Okay. Now, everyone is literally telling you have to use AI if you want to make money. You have to leverage AI if you want to survive within your business in the next like 5 years. But no one is telling you how to actually then get AI to do those things for you, right? Now, when sending cold DMs, because again, AI just became a thing like 1, 2 years ago, when sending cold DMs, right now, there are literally thousands of automations that you can leverage to completely and fully automate the entire sending process, scraping process, and the entire overall cold DMs system so that you can pretty much scale this to incredible numbers. So, such as like 500 DMs a day, 1,000 DMs a day, which is around what we are sending right now. And if you want even 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 DMs a day, there is really no limit to how many DMs you can send right now on a daily basis, which is absolutely incredible. And because AI just became a thing, when I say that these cold DMs are on easy mode, is simply because you don't have to do anything. You just simply have to run the automation in the morning, 5 minutes. That's it. And then you obviously have to check if the system is working properly. Now, let's dive into the actual pillars of cold DMs. Now, when sending cold DMs and when choosing a platform, you have to consider these four pillars. Now, first of all, is volume. So, how many matches you can send ideally per account on that acquisition channel. Then the quality, so how good are the leads that you're going to scrape from that channel. Then the scalability, so can you actually use multiple accounts without having too much complexity and actually scale up that system to 500,000, 2,000, 5,000 even DMs per day. Now, let me show you some examples of what I mean by this. Now, let's say we want to pick, in this case, X, right? Now, X allows you to send 450 DMs per day, right? Which is absolutely insane. And this is per account, right? Now, just a quick example with Instagram or with Facebook, you are limited to 40 DMs per day per account. So with X, it's much, much easier to send way more volume. So with X, we tick the volume box. Also on X, there are automations which allow you to scrape incredibly high quality leads. Now, for example, this is a software that I use to scrape the leads and then send a message completely automatically. And if I want to scrape some leads, I click right here onto create campaign, right? Then I click on to add leads right here. I click on to scrape new leads. In here, I can scrape the followers of someone in my niche. For example, I can scrape the followers of a big influencer in my niche. Why? Because the people that follow these influencers have already shown interest towards our niche by simply following these influencers. So, for example, I can put Alex Hormozy right here. Then onto the filters, as you can see, I can filter these leads, these followers, based on keywords that are present or absent in their bios, meaning that I only get to keep people that are really, really qualified. So for example, I click right here onto my filter and I can only scrape the people that have these specific keywords into their bio. So help, book, grow, high ticket, making, generated, and so on and so on. Now, I can also exclude third world countries, so people that should probably don't have the budget to invest within my product. And this also adds even more quality to the list that we're going to scrape. Then I can also choose how many followers they have, the minimum, the maximum, the following. I can also exclude the gender. So if I only target, for example, males, I can exclude females, and I can also include only verified accounts, so only people that have shown to have some tiny commitment towards the platform by actually being verified and spending like what, 10, $11 per month on the subscription. Meaning that with all of these filters, I only get to keep extremely qualified leads, which is absolutely fantastic. And to scrape like 10, 20,000 leads, because it's automated, this literally takes like 2 minutes, which is awesome, right? And then to also send a message, I just simply click onto a lead list, continue to create the scripts. Then onto the scripts, I add my script. For example, I have my presets here: message one, message two, message three. Then I click on to choose account. I choose my account in here, which is this one, and then I can simply go on and send the messages. So X, as you can see, is a very, very good acquisition channel if you want to send a lot of cold DMs, because let's say you want to send 450 DMs a day, you just simply need one account. You want to send 900 DMs a day, you need two accounts. You want to send almost 1400 DMs a day, you need three accounts, and so on and so on. Now with IG, also in here you can send 40 DMs per day per account, right? And here, to get to 400 DMs a day, you have to have 10 different accounts, right? Which means that it's a little bit more complex than X to scale to high numbers. But the difference here, guys, is that onto X, the reply rate, at least for the message that I use, and that you can apply this for whatever message you're using, is around 3 to 4%, right? While on IG, the same exact message gets around a 9 to 10% reply rate. So we don't need to send so many DMs per day to get the same outcome as X in this case. And you also have to count this as well when choosing your acquisition channels, right? Now, if you want to choose, let's say, for example, the last one, LinkedIn, on LinkedIn, you are limited to only 800 connections per month, meaning that you can only send a message to only the people that actually accept that request. And on a monthly basis, you simply send something like 600 messages. So that's like 10 messages a day, 20 messages a day, which is not that much, right? So in my position, what I would pick in this case is probably X, Instagram, and maybe Facebook, right? You have to do your own research and find which platforms allow you to tick the most boxes in here. So, volume, quality, scalability, and complexity. Now, once you have that in place, then the second thing is to obviously have a script, an approach that works and that gets you booked meetings onto your calendar. And this is the way that I actually approach my prospects. Now, first of all, you want to create curiosity, right? Now, no one is going to open your message if the first thing that they see is, hey Carlo, I noticed how I could help you here, how I could help you get this, how I could help you improve that. I don't fucking care. No one fucking cares. You have to spark their curiosity, but also, very important, you have to be congruent with the message. Because if you tell me, hey Carlo, can you send me your calendar link so I can book in a call? Well, obviously every time I'm going to answer yes, and I'm going to send you the booking link. But then afterwards, if you tell me, okay, now I noticed this, and that, and actually this is a message because I want to sell you my fucking YouTube thumbnail designer services, right? Well, in that case, what happens is I either tell you, hey, fuck off, or I just simply ghost you, right? So you have to create curiosity, but you also have to be congruent with the message that you're sending. So, for example, the opener that I use is, hey, first name or only first name. Are you still accepting new clients right now? Now, this creates curiosity, but it's also congruent with what I'm doing. Why? Because my product helps my clients get, guess what, more clients, right? So if they cannot take any more clients, well, then my service doesn't make any sense for them. So if they tell me, no, I do not take any more clients, then I simply say, okay, fine, no problem, that's it, right? And I don't keep on going with the message. Now, once you create curiosity with an opener like this, maybe you are a fitness coach, you are targeting fitness coaches, and what you can say is, hey, are you offering coaching services at the moment? Like, that's a legitimate question, because if they're not servicing any type of coaching services at the moment, then it's not a good fit for these people, right? And also, it creates curiosity and it increases the reply rate, the show up rate, and so on and so on. Not the show up rate, the open rate, right? Then you have to give value up front. Now, when giving value up front, you have to think about human psychology, right? Now, you want to leverage in this case something extremely powerful, which is called the law of reciprocity, right? And this law here states that when you give something first upfront to someone as like a gift or something similar, then these people are going to be much likely to feel obligated to actually give back to you in some way. So if you give value up front within your first message, then the people that actually see your message, because you've actually given them some kind of value up front, they're going to be much more likely to actually get back to you in the form of actually replying to your message. Now, my first message, for example, is, hey, first name, are you still accepting new clients? I don't want to pitch without permission, but I've just made a free video on how we helped our client Jitin add over 10K a month in 15 days. Mind if I send it over, and only if you find it of value we can chat. Worst case scenario, you'll still take my video and you'll run with it with the systems and everything, right? Now, you don't have to copy and paste what I'm doing, but the point here is that you have to give some kind of value up front. Now, last day I got someone messaging, hey Carlo, I've just created this lead list for you with like 10,000 different agency owners that you could potentially contact, no strings attached. If you want to just simply shoot me a yes. And in that case, I say, okay, like cool, that's a free lead list. They give that back to me like in the first place. So yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna answer, okay, let's go. And then afterwards, they started asking me a few questions. We started going back and forth, and then they actually pitched on my service and actually said yes, right? But all of this happened because they've given me value up front. So this is exactly what you have to leverage as well. And then guys, this is pretty much everything that you have to do. Now again, when choosing a acquisition channel, remember these pillars right here, and the more you can automate that channel, the better. Now, for example, another example, and then I'm gonna let you go with Instagram, right? There is a tool which is called colddms.com, right? And this right here is the tool. And as you can see with this, you can do the pretty much exact same thing that you can do right here onto XReacher, just it's done onto Instagram. For example, you can find the leads here. You can do the exact same thing. So like from accounts, you put the username like this, you click onto scrape, you put the filter. Again, you filter these leads based on keywords in their bios like help, like scale, and so on and so on. Then you click on the scrape, and you have your lead list pretty much done. Then in here onto the campaign, you add your accounts, you start sending the messages with the leads that you've just scraped right here, and then you are good to go. So it's very, very important, guys, that you also choose platforms that allow you to automate them as much as possible. Simply because when that's automated, you don't have to do anything, and you could have 5, 10 different acquisition channels all running on autopilot. Now, in my example right now, I have cold DMs on Instagram, completely fully automated. I have cold DMs onto X, completely fully automated. And I also have cold DMs onto LinkedIn, even though it's like 10 messages a day. But the quality of leads there is very, very high. The reply rate is minimum like 10-15%. So that's very, very good as well. Now, this is pretty much everything for this video, guys. I hope this video actually helped you in some way. And if you have any tips, any suggestions, anything that you would like to see in the upcoming videos, simply let me know inside of the comments. I'll be more than pleased to actually make a video on the topic that you guys want to see. I hope you like this video again, and I will see you on to the next one. Bye bye. Ciao, guys.